Have you seen an alien, please? Have you seen an alien? Have you seen an alien, please?
Alright boys and girls, I hope you're having a lovely day. Okay, today boys, I want to talk about the best and the worst Alien games. Obviously there's a new Alien movie coming out in cinemas, which I'm really looking forward to. With that said though, I am a little bit skeptical because to be honest with you, the Alien movies haven't been that great for a very long time. In fact, to be honest with you guys, I think like the only Alien movies I actually really like are the first two. So yeah, hopefully fingers crossed this one's going to be good. But yeah, in order to celebrate boys, I thought I'd talk about the best and the worst Alien games. But yeah, before we get into things boys, I do want to mention a couple of things. First of all, I want to note in the comments what are some of your favorite Alien games. Let me know in the comments like if you've played some Alien games and just tell me which one's your favorite. And also I want to mention guys that there's one game that's not going to be included in this video because I love this game so much that I need to dedicate a whole video towards it, and that game is Alien Isolation. I love this game, okay, and I need to do a whole video on this game, so I'm not going to be talking about this one in this video because it's just that good. So yeah, without further ado then boys, let's jump straight into it, okay, and we'll kick things off with Aliens Thanatos for the Game Boy Color. Okay guys, so when it comes to Game Boy games, I like my Game Boy games super simple, okay? I do not want a complicated game when it comes to the Game Boy. My most played Game Boy game by far is Miss Pac-Man. I've played a lot of hours of Miss Pac-Man, alright? Because it's simple, and I like simple fun. So when I started playing this game, guys, I was very happy because this game is simple, okay? It's not too complicated, it's really straightforward, it's easy to understand, and you just understand what to do straight away. The entire gameplay loop here is going around, shooting all the aliens, and collecting survivors. You literally just walk up to people and you've saved them, okay? And that's the entire game, is killing aliens and helping survivors. There's nothing else to it. And I liked that, alright? I liked the fact that it was simple and it was really fun. I will say the first sort of level of this game wasn't super fun because the aliens just would not stop moving around. Like, they've just got really awkward movements and they're running around. They're just really hard to hit in the first few levels. But by level 2, you can unlock the pulse rifle and the aliens are a lot easier to hit with the pulse rifle because obviously you can shoot a lot more. So yeah, pretty much this whole game, you're just going around shooting aliens, and that's pretty much the entire experience here. I know it sounds like super basic, but it is weirdly addictive. I did manage to get pretty far into this game. I didn't finish it. I got probably about 2/3 of the way through and I ended up giving up because it is not an easy game, okay? This is pretty hard. But yeah, I super enjoyed my time with this one, guys, and I will also say the soundtrack here has no right to be as good as it is. So yeah, overall boys, I like this game. It was a lot of fun. However, there is sort of one fatal flaw with this game, and the reason that I didn't actually finish this game, and that is sort of like the level structure. So first of all guys, there's absolutely 0 checkpoints in any of the levels, which is fine at first because the levels are nice and bite-sized and short, but as the game goes on, the levels do get pretty lengthy, which is not good for Game Boy, okay? I do not want long, drawn-out levels in my Game Boy games. I want to have quick, 3 to 4 minute levels at most. Some of the later levels in this game are taking upwards of 12 to 15 minutes, which is a lot for Game Boy. Like, you would expect shorter levels, and the problem is, guys, it's like super easy to die in this game. Like, you so much as touch an alien, and they just zap your health away super quickly, so you can die super easily and have to do the entire level from the beginning again, which is super annoying. Not to mention the fact that I don't know about anyone else, but my Game Boy eats batteries like nobody's business, okay? I mean, it just goes through batteries within a few hours. Like, I'll play a game for an hour, and the batteries are dead. It's crazy.
I'm tired of suffering. I'm tired of suffering.
So no joke, there's been times when I've been playing this game and my battery has ran out in the middle of a level, and that shit is so frustrating, and it wouldn't be an issue if the levels were just a bit shorter. And in the end, guys, I ended up giving up with the game because I just got so frustrated. Like, I was on a level, I got right to the end and I died. I had to do the whole level again. I was like, you know what? I can't be bothered, okay? And that's what annoyed me. If this game had checkpoints of any sort or just shorter levels in general, I probably would have played the whole thing because gameplay-wise, I really enjoyed it. It's simple, but it was damn fun. But yeah, those levels were just too long for Game Boy, in my opinion, okay? Especially when it comes to the battery life, because that was that was more annoying than me dying, was like if I was playing the game and I'd be doing absolutely fine, but then my batteries would run out. That shit was so annoying. With all that said though, boys, if you do have a Game Boy, I would recommend it because it is still good fun. Okay, boys, next up, I'm going to talk about Aliens vs Predator for the PS3. And as you guys can see, I've got this beautiful steelbook here. I absolutely love this steelbook. It's just absolutely amazing. This is my original copy of this game, which I've had for a really long time. I got this game a long time ago. I remember playing this game back in the day, and I absolutely loved it, okay? So I figured I'd replay it, because I haven't played it in years, and I love this game just as much as I used to. I loved it back then, and I love it now. I think this game is super underrated, okay? This game does not get the credit it deserves. I think this game is really good. But in order for me to, like, analyze this game, I have to break it up into 3 parts, because this game is broken up into 3 different campaigns. This game has a Marine campaign, it's got an Alien campaign, and it's got a Predator campaign, okay? And all 3 campaigns, very different, okay? None of them are even slightly similar. So we'll start off with the Marine campaign, guys, okay? Because that is personally my favorite. It's the longest campaign of the 3 campaigns, and I just really like the way that you sort of progress through the campaign, because at the beginning of it, you feel super weak, and it feels like the aliens are just constantly overpowering you. They're just really aggressive, and they're coming at you, and I was dying a lot at the beginning of this campaign, like the first sort of, I don't know, half an hour of the campaign. I was dying quite a bit, but I liked that because it almost felt like I was surviving encounters. It felt very authentic to the movies. Like when you're watching a good alien movie, they're never really dominating the aliens, they're just getting by the skin of their teeth, and that's how this Marine campaign felt. It felt like I was just about getting by. But as the campaign progresses, you unlock better weapons, so like a little bit later on, you'll get the smart gun, and you're the hunter now, okay? You're hunting down these aliens, and you just feel super overpowered, and I love that little switcheroo. You don't just encounter aliens in this campaign, though, guys. You do encounter other species, if you like, okay? You've got the androids. They're not really a species, but you have to fight androids in this game. They've obviously got guns, and, you know, they're trying to kill you, so you got to kill them back. You do encounter a predator, okay? That's not plural. You encounter a single predator in this campaign, which I must admit was a bit of a letdown. Not like the encounter itself. The encounter was great. It was like a boss battle. It wasn't super easy. I quite enjoyed it. But the fact that you only encounter one single predator in the whole campaign, that was a bit of a letdown.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Okay, guys, next up you've got the Predator campaign, okay? And out of all the, like, campaigns, this one is the biggest power fantasy, okay? Because the Predator is super overpowered in this game, okay? And it's sheerly because of the amount of gadgets you've got at your disposal. Obviously, you've got Predator's claws, you've got Predator vision, you've got the smart discs, you've got the spears, you've got Predator's cloak, you've got the plasma caster. Like, you've got so many different gadgets to use as the Predator, so you can just destroy everybody. And you're not just hunting the humans as the Predator in this, you're also hunting the aliens, okay? You're the ultimate hunter as the Predator, and it was super fun. And this game allows you to do executions as the Predator, and my god, are they visual, okay? Like, some of these executions are absolutely brutal, like, to a point where I almost felt bad for the aliens and the humans that I was fucking up. This game is very, very visceral, okay? This is a very brutal game, and I loved it. Unfortunately, though, guys, the Predator campaign is not flawless. There is a couple of issues with it, and my number one problem with it is probably the traversal, more specifically the jumping in this game. Now, the Predator obviously can do super ridiculous jumps in the movies and stuff. Like, those guys can really jump. In this campaign, though, guys, the Predator jumping is just super limited. Like, you've got the regular jumps, which are quite literally just regular jumps, like, you know, jumps that me and you could do, and then you've got the higher point jumps, which is where it comes a bit more underwhelming. You basically, like, hold down a button, and it sort of lets you jump to certain points, but it's, like, really limited. Like, you have to be in really specific areas to jump to them. You can't just sort of jump at will. It's very limited. And if I compare this to, let's say, I don't know, Predator Concrete Jungle on PS2, which is a pretty underrated game if I don't say so myself, but yeah, in that game you can literally just jump from the floor to the fucking sky, like really crazy jumping in that game. Compared to this, it was a bit underwhelming. I would have liked a similar sort of jumping mechanic where I could jump to high points, you know, that would be really cool, but unfortunately you've got this super limited jumping, which I wasn't a fan of. My second flaw with this Predator campaign, guys, is the heavy attacks, okay? The heavy attacks in this game take so bloody long, okay? They literally take like 5 seconds to load up the heavy attack, and by that point you've been attacked like 10 times and you've lost tons of health trying to do a heavy attack, so it sort of renders them kind of useless. With all that said, though, guys, the Predator campaign is still super fun, using tons of different gadgets and fucking up enemies. That shit is great, okay, so I can't complain. Okay, guys, the third and final campaign, and probably my least favorite campaign, is the Alien campaign. That's not to say it's bad, I still think it's a good campaign, but it's definitely the weakest of the 3. And the first reason for that, guys, is the length, okay? The Alien campaign is significantly shorter than the other 2. The Marine and the Predator campaigns are similar in length. The Marine campaign is slightly longer, but they are relatively the same, whereas the Alien campaign is like half the length of the other 2. Like, it's super short, you can beat it in an hour and a half tops. Another reason I'm not as big of a fan of this campaign as the other 2 do is the camera. Like, basically when you're on walls and you're moving onto ceilings and stuff like that, the camera can be really disorientating, and it's just like, I don't know, it sort of gave me a little bit of motion sickness at times. I also felt like the alien attacks in this were super simple, like compared to the Predator campaign, for example, where you've got tons of different gadgets, or the Marine campaign where you've got tons of different guns. In this, you've just got a few really basic attacks, and that's it. Like, it's super simplistic to play as the alien in this compared to the other two, which I suppose is why this one is the shortest of the three, because they kind of probably figured that you'd get bored if it was any longer. But yeah, super simple with like the attacks and stuff. With all that said though, it is still fun. Like, sneaking up behind people is super fun. Alright, this is more of a sort of stealth approached campaign.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
You don't want to be getting caught by the Marines in this, because they will fuck you up real quick. They just start blasting at you, and it's really hard if you get caught, so you want to be a little bit stealthier as the alien. You also attack with a lot more speed playing as the alien, so I definitely liked that. And just in general, like, playing as an alien is cool, okay? I mean, the aliens are just cool, so being able to play as them is still fun, but like I said, definitely not my favourite of the 3 campaigns. It's probably my least favourite. With all that said though, boys, you've got 3 campaigns here, okay? And all 3 of them combine into one game, and again, in my opinion, it's super underrated. This game never really gets the praise it deserves, in my opinion. It's definitely not a perfect game, okay? It's not a 10 out of 10 by any means, but it's fun, alright? This is a fun game, and all 3 campaigns are a good time, so if you haven't played this one, I would definitely recommend it. Okay, boys, next up, let's talk about Alien 3 for the Mega Drive. Okay guys, so this is one that I was definitely looking forward to, okay, because I've obviously recently picked up my Mega Drive, and this was very high up on my list of Mega Drive games I wanted to play. The Mega Drive just has tons of licensed video games, and so many of them have intrigued me, and Alien 3 was just right at the top of that list of games I wanted to check out. And quite similar to the Alien Thanatos that we played on the Game Boy, this is a very simple game, okay? This game is not too complicated, it's quite easy to understand, but my god is it fun. So in terms of what this game is, guys, it's a run and gun shooter where you're taking on the aliens. The twist here is, though, you have a timer, and within this time limit you have to free all the hostages in the level and then escape. You've usually got around 4 to 5 minutes, and yeah, you literally have to go around and save all the hostages. They're all scattered around the level, and you've basically got to find them. They can be quite hard to find at times. Like, you've got to do a little bit of traversal in order to find them, and you've got to do a bit of, you know, you've got to definitely look out for them. You have to also be super careful as well, because the aliens can run at you super quickly, so you've got to be on your guard. Like, you've got to know that they're coming, because they can catch you out a lot. So yeah, this game is pretty simple, guys, but yeah, it's super fun, okay? And one of the things that I really liked about this game, guys, is the art style, okay? The art style to this game is just mwah, okay? I just love the way that 90s games, especially like the 2D games, they just look so good and they've aged so well. Games on the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo, that art style was just amazing, okay? In this game, it looks so good, okay? I love the way this game looks. Soundtrack as well, guys, is 10 out of 10, and the Mega Drive is, you know, no exception to good soundtracks. I mean, pretty much every single game I've played on the Mega Drive so far has had a 10 out of 10 soundtrack. I mean, I've been playing like Sonic the Hedgehog and Streets of Rage, okay? These games have got iconic soundtracks, and Alien 3 is right up there, guys.
Can I tell you something? I love it.
Another thing I really liked about this game, guys, is how scarce the ammo is, okay? I just like the fact that you had to be, like, super on it, okay? You couldn't be going around and shooting, you know, left, right, and center. You have to be careful, okay? You can't be going around and wasting your ammo. Like, seriously, it'd be like a mini celebration every time I'd find ammo, especially for a gun that I like to use. Like, if I see pulse rifle ammo, I'm genuinely happy, because that gun is just super good in this game. And again, I just felt like it added to that authenticity of the movies, because once again, it just felt like I was surviving these encounters, okay? Because if I ran out of ammo, I was pretty much screwed. In terms of how far I got with this one, guys, I did not finish this game. I don't know exactly how far I got, but I did get fairly far into it. Like, I did play a good few levels, but similar to a lot of the other Mega Drive games, when you, like, die for good, like, you have a certain amount of tries. If you die, like, and use up all your lives, you got to play the whole game again, which, you know, makes sense a lot of the time, but obviously that does weigh thin a little bit. You've got to keep replaying the game over and over and over and over again. The shit gets tiresome, okay, and it just happened too many times, unfortunately, because the game isn't easy. And that time limit can be a real bitch, okay, because when you're looking for those different survivors and you can't find them anywhere and the time's ticking away and you obviously run out of time, you got to do the level again. Yeah, that can be really frustrating, especially through some of those longer, like more deeper levels, okay? The first few levels are super basic, but as you progress through the game, they get longer and longer and longer, and obviously you got more places to explore and you get lost, and yeah, this shit can be really hard. So yeah, I have the fullest intention of eventually finishing this game at some point, but as of right now, I obviously haven't finished it, but I do definitely want to. I want to invest a bit more time into it and really learn the layout of all the levels so that I can finish it. Alright then boys, next up, let's talk about Aliens Colonial Marines. Okay guys, so this is a game that's got a very sour reputation among Alien fans, okay? This is a game that a lot of people have talked shit about, okay? When this game came out, my god, did it get some shit. So like seriously, you would have thought this is the worst game ever made when this originally released, okay? People were shitting on it.
There are some feelings of nostalgia to be enjoyed, but it soon wears off and all that is left is some bog standard run and gun action that brings little new to the FPS table.
The final verdict for Aliens Colonial Marines is a 4 out of 10!
Okay, that's really bad.
I remember picking this one up back in the day when it was like super cheap, because you know this game bombed so badly with the reviews that it was super cheap really quickly. Like within a year this game was like £10, so I thought at that price I figured it was worth trying as an Alien fan. My honest opinion of it back in the day is that it wasn't terrible, but it was just a bit mid, you know. And to be honest with you, like I've replayed it again like the other day. I played it all the way through from beginning to end. Yeah, my opinion hasn't really changed on it. This game isn't terrible, but it's not amazing either. It's just really mid. I'd probably give this game like a straight down the middle 5 out of 10, okay? This game is very heavily flawed, but at the same time, it's not the most awful piece of shit I've ever played. It's somewhere in the middle. So yeah, let's talk about the positives with this game, okay? So first of all, the sound design in this game, okay? Like all of the weapons in this game sound absolutely incredible, sound very authentic, okay? Especially like the pulse rifle and stuff. It's got that amazing alien sounding pulse rifle, which of course is great. The music is good. Just the general sound design in general is super good here. This game has absolutely fantastic collectibles by way of the legendary weapons. So basically you're looking for weapons that are actually from the movies. Like for example, you can look for Vasquez's like smart gun, and it's got like really cool details on it. So you'll see her bandana wrapped around it. I don't know, I thought that shit was super cool. I literally scoured every single level looking for these different legendary weapons because I just thought it was cool. Like you've got Hudson's pulse rifle and it's got his name engraved in it. It's not like mind-blowing, but it's just really cool that it was there. And also this game does some really cool tension building moments, okay? Not a lot, like most of this game is you just running and gunning against the aliens, but those very few moments where it feels like, you know, it almost feels like a survival horror in a way, I really enjoyed those bits. Like within the first few minutes of this game, you're walking through a xenomorph nest and you're seeing people on the walls and they've got, you know, their chests are like burst out and, you know, there's loads of goo dripping off the walls and shit. Like, and there's no aliens or anything, but it's just that tension building, because you know eventually you're going to see a xenomorph. I really like the first few minutes in this game, and when the xenomorph does eventually show himself, like he's on a wall, which, you know, is just like classic xenomorph moment where they come off the wall. Honestly, it made me jump, like when I first saw the xenomorph in the game. Also, a little bit later on, there's a level in the game where you encounter like a xenomorph species that basically can sort of sense when you're moving. So if you move, they'll start, you know, stalking you, and you have to stay really still, and they'll be like sniffing at you and shit, and then they'll move on, and then they'll go back into their sort of hiding spot. I don't know, it was a weird level, but it was really cool and really tense, honestly. So yeah, that's pretty much my positives with this game, guys. Like I said, this game is not an absolute dumpster fire in my opinion. There's definitely things I like about it, but there's also things I don't like about it. Let's get into those. First of all, guys, the gameplay, okay? Now, the gameplay, by and large, is not terrible. It's a basic first-person shooter where you go around shooting aliens. It's fine on its own. Like, it's not amazingly good, but it's not horrible. You can shut your brain off, shoot aliens, and you can have some fun with it. But my biggest problem with the gameplay is the enemy AI, specifically with the xenomorphs. They are just straight up dumb in this game, okay? And that's never good, alright? Like, aliens are not dumb, okay? They're meant to be the ultimate species, the ultimate creature, alright? And they are retarded in this game. They literally just run straight up to your face every single time. They do not have any sort of variety in their movement. They literally just come straight up to you every time without fail, and of course, they get blasted away, and they do the same shit throughout the the entire game. They come straight to your face, you shoot them, they come straight to your face, you shoot them. Like, they're just so dumb. No joke, the human enemies in this game are harder to deal with than the aliens, and that's never good in your Aliens game, okay? That's an insult to this amazing movie franchise. But my biggest problem with this game by far, guys, is the characters and the story, okay? The story in general is just super mid, alright? I'm not going to go into it because it's honestly nothing crazy. It's just super meh. The characters, though, are terrible. Alien and Aliens have some of the most amazingly written characters in cinematic history, okay? The characters in those movies are so good. Like in Aliens, you've got a ragtag bunch of misfits who are like super arrogant and cocky about the whole alien situation, and as they encounter the aliens, you know, the layers start to unfold and you start to learn about their characters, and you know, you start to realize that that cockiness was just a face, and you know, it's just a really, really well written cast of characters. In this game, the characters are just so shit. Alright, they're really boring, they're really stupid.
Why did he do that?
The worst of these characters by far is O'Neill. O'Neill is just straight up annoying. Like, he's just constantly fucking shouting all the time. It doesn't matter what the situation is, he is always shouting. He never shuts up.
Last bullet for myself.
Whoa! It's fine, we're fine! Jesus Christ! They're spitting acid! Fucking acid!
None of the characters in this game are good, okay? None of them are interesting, not a single one. And that, again, that's like an insult to the movies, especially those first two, because the characters in those first two movies are incredible. So yeah, the characters, not good. So yeah, on the whole, guys, Aliens Colonial Marines, is it the worst game ever made? No, it's obviously not the worst game ever made. Like, it is a game that you can enjoy if you just shut your brain off. If you want to just go around shooting aliens with different guns, you've got that, okay? But yeah, it's definitely not an amazing game, and if you paid full price for this game back in the day and you were expecting an amazing game, you would have been really disappointed. But at the same time, I've definitely played worse games. Okay, boys, next up I want to talk about Aliens Infestation. Okay, guys, so out of all the like alien games I've been playing over the last few months, this honestly might be my favorite. It's certainly up there, okay? This game is so good. It is easily one of the best DS games ever made. It's probably in my top 3. I'm sure you guys don't really care, but for me, it's probably GTA Chinatown Wars at number 1, Phoenix Wright at number 2, and this is probably 3rd place for me when it comes to DS games. This game is so good. If you guys are into Metroidvanias, you need to play this game, okay? I don't really love Metroidvanias, but I love this game, and that says how good it is. Similar to Aliens Colonial Marines, guys, this game has fantastic sound design, okay, especially when it comes to the guns. The guns just sound 10 out of 10, and I feel like that's something that a lot of these alien games get right, is how the guns sound, and I feel like that's something you've got to nail. Like, if you're going to make an alien game, like, if the guns don't sound good, you know it's going to be bad. Even the bad alien games have good sounding guns, and yeah, this game is no exception. They sound really good. This game is also just a pure love letter to Aliens fans. Like, within the first few minutes of this game, you'll be walking along, and then out of nowhere, a cat springs out the vent, which is obviously a reference to Jonesy from Alien 1. If you guys are fans of those movies, you would just fall in love with this game immediately, okay? This game really, really loves the movies, and you can tell. So in terms of gameplay, like I was saying before, guys, this is a Metroidvania, but the twist here is that you have like an instant death mechanic. Basically, you've got like a team of 4 people. You'll be rocking out the whole game with 4 people, but when one of your team dies, they're gone for good, okay? They're not coming back. Thankfully, they can be replaced with other survivors, so if, you know, one of your teammates dies, you can find a new person to join the group, which is good, and there is a fair amount of survivors, so it's not like super punishing, but you certainly have to be careful, okay? You can't have your guys dying over and over and over again, or you're gonna have to basically play the whole game again. Yeah, the gameplay here, guys, is pretty simple. You're going from room to room, you're shooting up aliens, face huggers, androids, that sort of thing, but the game is just addictive, guys, okay? I could not put this game down whilst I was playing it. I actually went on a camping trip whilst I was playing this game, so I took my DS with me, and throughout the entire camping trip, guys, I was just playing this game non-stop. It's so fun. This game has a decent amount of weapon variety, not a crazy amount, but a decent amount. My favorite by far has to be the smart gun. Okay, the smart gun was so overpowered in this game. You are just brutally murdering aliens with the smart gun.
I love you, bitch.
But easily one of my favorite things about this game, guys, is the fact that I wasn't constantly getting lost, okay? That's my pet peeve in gaming, is being lost. I can't stand it when I'm walking around in circles and I've got no idea where the hell I am, and that's why I don't really play a lot of Metroidvanias, because, I mean, half the time you spend playing them is just being lost and trying to figure out where you are. I remember playing Metroid Dread for the first time, and I just couldn't stand it because I was just so lost all the time, and I ended up putting that game down and never playing it again. With this game, the map is super easy to understand, so so I always felt like I could look at the map and figure out where I was. And also this game allows you to put down flares, so you can basically put a flare down and it'll put a little marker on your map. So if there's a certain door or something you know you're gonna have to like get back to, you could put a flare down, come back to it later, and you know exactly where it is on the map. I loved that, okay? I love that aspect of this game. And also the boss battles in this game were superb, okay? There's not too many of them, there's only about 3 or 4 at most, but all of them were really good. I really enjoyed the boss battles here. And also guys, I can't believe I haven't mentioned it yet, but the art style, okay? This is a way forward game, and the way forward games always look amazing. Like the 2D graphics of way forward games never cease to amaze me, and this game is no exception, okay? The art style is fantastic. And honestly guys, there's only one single criticism I have with this game, okay? And it's a small gripe, okay? It's nothing too crazy, but my one problem with this game is how the upgrades work. Now on paper they're fine, you basically walk up to an upgrade and you can upgrade your guns, alright? It's really simple, okay? That's literally it. My problem with it is though guys, is that it upgrades the specific gun you're holding. So if you want to upgrade a different gun, you have to go back to a station, change your gun, and then go back to the upgrade. I don't know, I just found it annoying. Like I wish it was just like an upgrade point that you could spend how you want. I just found it annoying that you basically walk up to it and it just upgrades whatever gun you're holding in your possession. But like I was saying, that's a very small gripe guys. It's not a big deal. It's definitely not a game breaker. So yeah, on the whole guys, Alien Infestation, this game was absolutely fantastic. If you have a DS, please play it, okay? This is easily one of the best games on the system. Alright boys, next up I'm going to talk about Alien Trilogy for the PlayStation 1. Alright guys, so Alien Trilogy is actually a game I've had in my collection for bloody ages, and I've somehow never even played it once. I bought this game when I very first started getting serious about game collecting, and this was a couple of years ago. I've obviously always loved gaming, and I've always had a bit of a game collection, but the problem is when you want to buy the newer stuff, or you want to get a new game, I didn't really have money, so I'd have to trade in my stuff, so it was really difficult to actually build a proper collection. That was until obviously I got a job and started getting money, and then I could basically build my collection without trading in my older stuff. And Alien Trilogy was one of the very first games I added to my collection when I actually sort of went in with a focus of game collecting. I had literally 0 PS1 games in my entire collection. I love the PS1, I grew up with it, but I didn't have any games in my collection because I'd obviously sold them over the years. So I went into a CEX and I remember picking up this, and I picked up Rayman, okay? And I loved Rayman, I've obviously played that game a lot, but I never played this one. I picked it up because it was cheap, and I never played it. And that was until the other day when I gave this one a go, and it's a game that I like, but I also don't like. It's got some really heavy flaws that stop me from really liking it, but there's also some really cool stuff about it. So first of all guys, the soundtrack, okay? The soundtrack to this game is 10 out of 10. I absolutely adore the soundtrack to this game. It fits so perfectly. I love it. I honestly couldn't sing its praises more. Also, this game's gameplay was really good, okay? This game is pretty much, like if I was to describe it, it's like OG Doom, but with aliens, okay? Instead of shooting up demons, you're shooting up xenomorphs.
We have different faces, but inside we are same.
It's honestly super fun, okay? Especially when you start getting some really good guns. Like the shotgun in this game absolutely kicks some ass. The smart gun in this game kicks ass. Like all the guns in this game are really, really fun to use. And also this game's atmosphere is really good, okay? This game is surprisingly a little bit creepy at times. Not scary, obviously. Like this game isn't, you know, like I'm in my 20s, okay? This game is not gonna scare me with PS1 graphics, but it definitely has that spooky, creepy atmosphere where I can imagine playing this game back in the day with the lights turned off would get under your skin a little bit. So yeah, that's what I like about this game, guys. But what don't I like about it? Well, first of all, the controls, okay? The actual, like, button inputs are fine, okay, for once. Like, that's pretty rare for PS1. I don't know what it is with PS1 games. A lot of times, the button inputs are just so badly placed, I feel like. With this game, they're completely fine. The problem with the controls here, guys, is there is 0 analog support with this game. You have to play this game with a D-pad, which isn't ideal for a first-person shooter, let me just say. You do eventually get used to it, but yeah, when I was playing this game and you basically had to control, you know, moving and the gun movement with just the D-pad, you don't obviously have a right D-pad, you've only got the left. Yeah, I didn't really love that. My second problem with this game, guys, is the lack of ammo. Now, I did actually say in the Alien 3 section of this video that that was a good thing. I gave that as a plus for this game, but it makes sense in this game, okay, because there is enough ammo to get by, but you've just got to be careful. With Alien Trilogy, I just don't feel like they give you nearly enough ammo, like genuinely. This is an Alien Alien Doom-like shooter, okay? Like, you'd expect there to be decent ammo, and in the first few levels, there is quite a bit of ammo, but as you progress through the game, you just do not get any ammo pickups, and you're kind of just stuck, like, because when you run out of ammo, you can't really do anything. You need ammo to play this game. Now, I won't lie, guys, I did do an absolutely dirty and disgusting thing. I did use a cheat code in this game. I know, I'm a terrible human being, using cheat codes is forbidden, but yeah, there was an infinite ammo cheat code, and I used it because, I mean, what the fuck else was I supposed to do, you know? Like, there was just no ammo. I felt like I had to use it. So yeah, that did manage to fix that problem, guys. However, it didn't fix the biggest problem in this game by far, okay? And that is the navigation, okay? This game is a maze, alright? A maze, and not a good one, alright? You know, you might go through a maze and it's good fun and you're having a laugh. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, it's annoying, alright? This game is a maze and it's annoying, okay? And part of the reason it's so annoying is it's so bloody dark, alright? It's a maze with the lights turned off. You can't see shit in this game.
I'm not blind 23 hours a day or 22 hours a day. I'm blind the whole goddamn time.
I can't stress enough how often I would get lost in this game, and ultimately that's why I gave up with it, okay? Because I was just getting lost, I was getting frustrated, and in the end I just gave up, okay? And like I said before, I cannot stand being lost in video games. It's my pet peeve with video games, is being lost. And this game, I was constantly lost and it was dark, alright? Just not a good combination at all. So yeah, on the whole, guys, Alien Trilogy, bit of a mixed bag for me, okay? There's definitely things I like about this game, like the one-to-one gameplay is fun, the shooting is fun, the soundtrack's great, but then you've got these annoying things that just haven't aged that well for me. If this game got remade, I would be the first person in the queue, okay, because this game could be amazing with just a few small little tweaks. But yeah, ultimately, it was a game that I found a little bit mixed. Okay, guys, my final game I'm going to be talking about today is going to be Aliens Fireteam Elite. Okay guys, so this is a game that came out a couple years ago, I'm pretty sure. It's not a super old game, obviously, it's on PS5, so yeah, I don't know when it came out, but it's obviously not that old. It was a game that was slightly on my radar, but ultimately I never played it, but I picked this game up for like £12, which for a PS5 game is an absolute bargain. I will say, like, my first sort of impressions with this game were not good, okay? I did not have a good first impression with this game at all. And this game kicks off with some character customization, and the options are absolutely terrible, okay? There's barely any options to customize your character, so that was a huge letdown. Like, I'm not like the biggest guy when it comes to character customization. I'm not going to sit there for hours and make the ultimate character, but there was basically nothing you could do. Like, there was a couple of faces, a couple of haircuts, and that was pretty much it, so that was definitely underwhelming. And the second thing that left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth with, like, first impressions wise, was the fact that there was no pause button in this game, okay? And I learned that the hard way. I was playing through the very first mission, and I ended up getting a phone call from my mum, so I pause the game, I go obviously to pick my phone up, I'm talking to my mum for about 10 minutes or whatever, I come back and I'm dead, alright? And I was like, what the fuck, I paused the game, and then I realised it doesn't pause the game. Like, you press pause and the game is still playing in the background, which is just stupid.
This is bullshit.
Now, I know the reason why this is the case, okay? This is pretty much a multiplayer game, but I didn't play this game multiplayer, okay? I played this game by myself, okay? There was no online lobbies or anything. I played this game solo, alright? So I should be able to pause the damn game. So yeah, in terms of first impressions, guys, we weren't off to a good start, but it picked up a lot from there, okay? Because I really did like this game a lot, okay? I really think this game is fantastic. So first of all, the gameplay here, guys, it's pretty much Left 4 Dead, but with xenomorphs. Okay, that's the easiest way I can describe it. If you've played the Left 4 Dead games, it's literally that, but with Xenos. I won't lie to you guys, this game is pretty damn repetitive, okay? Every mission is pretty much structured the exact same way. You go into a room, kill a bunch of Xenomorphs, go into the next room, do it all over again, and then you've got to defend a point, so you've got to stay still, defend that point from Xenomorphs, but pretty much you're going from room to room, killing Xenomorphs, and that's the entire game. There's nothing else to it. But with that said, guys, despite this game being repetitive, I didn't get bored of it. I did not get bored of this game one bit. I loved every second of it. And I actually have 3 reasons why this game didn't get boring despite the game being super repetitive, okay? The first reason is the gameplay is just so fun. The gunplay in this game is just so satisfying, okay? Shooting a Xenomorph in this game just feels so nice for some reason. This game just really nailed that gunplay to a T. It was so fun to play. And the second reason I didn't really get bored, guys, is the weapon customization is just 10 out of 10. You literally can get guns and customize the different attachments and really upgrade the shit out of them, and I loved that, okay? I loved going into a new mission with a new gun, with a new attachment or whatever it was, and seeing the differences, and the customization, like, actually makes a big difference. Like, you'll get a scope and you'll think, oh, it's not gonna make that much of a difference, but it really does. Like, certain guns with certain different attachments really, like, make the guns so much better. And the third reason I didn't really get bored of this game, guys, was the enemy variety. This game has so much enemy variety, it's not even funny, okay? Like, within the xenomorphs, there's tons of different xeno species you'll be fighting. Some of them are just coming straight at you, you know, they'll be flying off the walls and shit, they're coming at you in different angles, but you've got loads of different xenomorph species, then they all, you know, they'll all come at you in different ways, and they've all got different approaches for their attacks. But on top of that, you'll be fighting androids in this game, and even the androids have got different types of androids, and the game just mixes up the enemy variety super well, which I loved. Another thing I want to give credit to this game for, guys, like I was saying before, I played this game solo. The AI in this game, like for the, you know, the teammate AI, is really decent.
I love you guys so much.
They're not absolutely amazing, okay? Don't expect them to be carrying you. Like, if you're terrible at this game, the AI is not going to help you that much. But the fact that they weren't a complete burden, like they usually are in a lot of games, like if you play other games with bots, the bots are literally bots, alright? Because they're so bad. At no point in this game did I ever have to revive one of my teammates, okay? They completely were self-reliant. They helped me kill aliens. They were not like a problem at all. So I couldn't be happier with the teammate AI in this game. I thought it was really good. This game is fully viable to play on your own. You don't have to play this with friends. It would have been better with friends, alright? It would not only be more fun with friends, but they obviously would help you a lot more, but you don't need to. You can easily play this game without them. But yeah, that's pretty much all of my thoughts on this game, guys. It's a super simple game, okay? It's super repetitive. It's not like the most game-changing game ever, but it's just fun, alright? Like, if you want to shoot aliens, this is the game for that, okay? Because this game, it was so fun to play. I loved the weapons. I loved going through the game and just shooting up the aliens, and I could easily put this game in right now and have fun with it. That's how fun it is. Alright then, boys, so that is all of the Alien games that I've played over the last sort of few weeks. I've had a really good time with these games. There's some really, really good games here, and there's also some not so good games here. I'm looking at you, Aliens, Colonial Marines, but on the whole, I had a really, really good time with these Alien games, so do let me know in the comments which one of these is your favorite, or maybe it's the one that I haven't actually mentioned in this video, because there are some other Alien games I did not talk about. Like I said before, I will be talking about Alien Isolation in another video, so that will be coming very, very soon. Other than that, though, boys and girls, subscribe here if you're new, and I'll see you guys next one, alright? Peace.